Okay guys, what I'm going to show you how to make is something called San Antonio Migas. One time when I went to Texas, I had this for breakfast and it was so crazy good that I knew I had to make it at home. You might know, you may have heard of chilaquiles, which is kind of similar to this, but this is the kind of Texas spin on that. It's got eggs, it's got tortilla chips. I added some beans to it just as a side. Beans, some avocado, sour cream, salsa. This is so good. I so want you to make this at home. Okay, so next I'm going to go over all the ingredients with you. Okay, so you're going to need eggs. You're going to need butter, vegetable oil, corn tortillas, and I've left these out a few hours so they purposely get a little bit stale. Red bell pepper, diced green chilies in the can, looks like that. Onion, pepper, and salt. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to prep these ingredients. To know the exact amounts, you're going to need to look at the recipe, and then we'll come back. Okay, so what I've done is I have measured and prepped out some of the ingredients. For example, over here is 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. They can be put together in the same dish. And over here is the corn tortillas, which I have cut into pieces like this. And then over here is the vegetables. I have diced some of the onion, diced some of the bell pepper, and put some of the canned green chilies right here, and I drained them from the can. Okay. And remember that all of the ingredient amounts, that's in the recipe. So you have to check that to be sure of how much to use. Okay, now let's go over here to the eggs. And I've put the eggs cracked the eggs into the bowl. And now I've also added 2 tablespoons of water into there too. That makes the eggs a little extra fluffy. So I'm going to beat these eggs just with a fork. You could use a whisk if you wanted to, of course. But a fork is a little bit easier to clean and go into the dishwasher. Really, really, really beat those eggs so you don't see any streaks of white or streaks of yellow. So it's all a nice uniform color. And we are just about ready to start cooking. So we're going to get to that step next, and I'll show you how all that goes together. Okay, so we're going to be on the stovetop here, and let me just show you a couple things on the stovetop. I'm going to turn this burner on. That's high, okay? The flames can't go on any higher. I love gas, by the way. This is the best way to cook. That's medium now, and that's low. We're going to want to be at about medium high. You're also going to need a skillet, okay? It should be a good sized skillet because there's going to be eventually a lot of stuff in here. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put your butter and oil in here. And you're going to let that get hot, and as it gets hot, the butter's going to melt. And when everything is kind of bubbly here and ready to go, then we're going to add our tortilla strips. All right, so the butter is nice and melted. This is nice and hot. So that I'm going to add the tortilla strips. They should make a little sizzle when they go in there. Yeah. And we're just going to mix this around with a spatula until they start to get crispy and turn a nice golden brown. So when I come back, we're going to have nice golden brown looking crunchier chips. All right, so get a good look at this. The tortilla chips are nice and crunchy now. They're golden brown. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add my vegetables. They're going in there. They're nice to roll. And I'm also going to add the salt, lots of pepper. Okay, so we're going to saute this. That just means to cook something in a little bit of a fat like oil. We're going to saute this for a few minutes until the vegetables start to soften up. And then when we come back, I'll show you the eggs are going to go in. All right. All right, these vegetables have been sauteing for a few minutes. They're looking nice and cooked. So we're going to add the eggs. Just going to pour the eggs right in there. All right. Now, once the eggs get in there, I like to give them a chance to kind of start to solidify. The heat right now is on, it's about medium. Okay, you don't want to cook eggs too fast. And what I'm going to do with my spatula is I'm going to start moving them over. You see how it kind of clears a path? Moving the eggs over so that the uncooked part gets cooked too. I'm just going to move this around to get those eggs cooked. I'm using a non-stick skillet, which is really, really nice when you're making eggs, because eggs can really, really stick to a skillet. That's why a regular skillet and non-stick skillet is nice to have. So I'm just going to keep doing this until my eggs look nice and cooked. Oh boy, look at that. The migas are done. They look incredible. This is going to be plenty for my family. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of it on a plate and show you how you can add really, really delicious garnishes to it. Okay, so there's the migas. Now I think I'll add some shredded cheese and some cilantro. Give it a little garnish of avocado. And I just so happen to have some salsa that I made. So I'm going to add a nice amount of salsa there. Maybe a little bit of fresh green onion. And there you go. Look at that. A beautiful, delicious plate, healthy migas. This is going to be great. All right.